Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Arc Arena on the campus of Baruch College. Alongside Joe Stolzer, I'm Dave Justin. Joe, tonight we got a great matchup, a doubleheader. Brooklyn College visiting the Arc Arena here at Baruch to face on the Baruch Bearcats.
Yeah, Baruch versus Brooklyn. Let's start with this first game. The Brooklyn College 11-1, 19-2 atop the conference. What an opportunity for Baruch at home. They have scared some opponents we saw earlier in the season with some great efforts. And I really want to see what Baruch team comes out tonight.
Yeah, and Brooklyn College, like you said, 19-2 overall, led by their point guard, Karen Mack, leading the team in both points and assists this year.
Yeah, she's very tough. Of course, she's got a good mate in Chanel Jamont, who's a rebounding force. But with any good team, they're coming in, they have a plan. But I look for the other side of this coin. Baruch, really nothing to lose. They're in the middle of the pack. And Brooklyn, a lot to lose. So, of course, the defense is going to be looking for Mack. But I really look for the interior defense of Baruch in all the games. That's been a big focus of mine.
All right, and we're about moments away from tip-off, Joe. What do you think Baruch's really going to have to do to get the W against an impressive Brooklyn College team?
As we've been saying all year, Dave, the recipe, do not hurt yourself.
All right, we're moments away from tip-off here at the Arc Arena. We'll be right back with the national anthem and the starting lineups.
Yeah, I saw that too. And then once I heard him talking, so in the future we'll have to coordinate that. Yes, so give me 1 second.
And we are moments away from tip-off here at the Arc Arena, campus of Baruch College. First, your starting lineup for your Brooklyn women, coached by head coach Alex Lang. At guard, number 5, like we mentioned in the pregame, Karen Mack. The other guard, number 22, Taylor George. At the forward, number 4, Alexandra Mugen, Jr., 5'11", from Brooklyn. At the other forward, number 25, Jasmine Hansgen. And at the center, number 1, Veronica Green. And for your Bearcats, coached tonight by Coach Kelly Ann Barrett. Starting at the guards are Melinda Spayu, Daniela Arias, and Samira Ahmed. And at your 2 forward positions is number 31, Shannon Barrett, team captain, and number 34, Lisette DeBoard. And Joe, we're moments away here from tip-off. It's going to be an uphill battle tonight for Baruch with such a dominant Brooklyn College team coming in tonight.
Yeah, but if Baruch can, really man up in terms of defensive intensity, cause some problems for what Brooklyn College wants to do. And let's face it, Daniela Arias, Shannon Barrett, Samir Ahmed, Melinda Spayu, these people all have to get off to good starts and really take Brooklyn out of their mental game very early.
Yeah, and it's going to be key to stop Karen Mack. She seems to be at the kind of running the show this year for Brooklyn College and able to really facilitate on the offensive end, both get scoring points, like we mentioned, averaging about 13 a game, but really dishing the ball with 5 assists per game.
Well, Baruch has faced some really tough players individually this season, and I think they've really done a great job. Unfortunately, some of those players got hot in the second half. So it seems like the second half and the first half really have to be big efforts from the Bearcats. A total game tonight.
So we are moments away here from tip-off at the Arc Arena, home to the Baruch Bearcats. Baruch wearing their home whites, going to go left to right to start the game. Brooklyn College wearing their road, looks like wine or maroon colored jerseys with the gold trim. It'll be Veronica Green against Shannon Barrett on the tip. Barrett with the win. Arias fighting for with number 22, Taylor George, and it'll be Baruch into the front court. Melinda Spayu quickly into the front court, give it off to Arias. Barrett up top. Now Ahmed has it, takes a dribble to the left, gives it off to Barrett. Now corner three by Arias. Off back rim, no good. Ball's fought for. And it's going to be a travel against Brooklyn College. It'll go back, and a nice call there actually by the ref. I thought, I was worried it was going to be a foul call, but it was a nice possession there by Baruch's defense.
Lisette DeBoard, expect her to do something special in terms of disruption, stuff that doesn't show up in the scoreboard.
Left wing three by Shannon Barrett, way short, and rebounded by Brooklyn College. And Mugen has it now. Swings around to Mack. Mack looking for options, finds Green baseline. Left baseline jumper, around and out. Nice defense there by Barrett, rebounded by DeBoard, and Barrett will push it into the front court. Gives it off to Spayu left side. Back up top to Barrett. Arias has it right wing. Arias into the lane. Nice block there by number 25, Jasmine Hankins for Brooklyn College.
Yeah, Daniela just pulled up a little bit short on that.
And it's going to be Mack up top. Gives up top to George. Almost stumbles on the right wing. Finds Mack up top, and she'll be able to set up the offense. Samira Ahmed on her at 9 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Entry pass inside. And it's going to be a foul on number 34, Lisette DeBoard, as the entry pass to Hansgen was cut off. But a little bit of a reach, and it'll stay with Brooklyn College underneath.
Defensively, Baruch has Ahmed up top. That's a new look for them.
A nice steal there by Shannon Barrett off the inbound. Ahmed quickly into the front court, going coast to coast. Off glass, can't finish. Rebound, though, by Spayu. Goes back up. She's blocked. And she steps out of bounds, and she got her own rebound after the block, so it'll go back to Brooklyn College. Nice hustle play there, but you want to see Baruch really create some points off the turnover.
Absolutely. The key is to finish. Baruch does a great job of getting to the basket. They have to finish.
Now Brooklyn have it in the front court. It's going to be Green at the free throw line. Takes a couple dribbles left. Gives it off to Mack, who replaces her at the free throw line. Able to knock down the jumper. Nice jumper there by Karen Mack.
Yeah, wide open, wasn't contested. And there was a change. Ahmed went down low, and Shannon Barrett was up top for Baruch.
And a steal there by Karen Mack as Spayu turns it over, goes right up at Arias. She's fouled as she tries the left-hand scoop layup. And it'll be Karen Mack at the line to shoot two.
Yeah, the Bearcats careless in trying to bring the ball up court. That's been something of late that they've been dealing with. They have to minimize the turnovers.
And it'll be Mack to knock down the first. Karen Mack looking pretty impressive in the early going, already with team's first 3 points as she's off on the second. And it's going to go off Green last as the rebound is fought for between her and Barrett, and it'll be Baruch's ball. 8:21 remaining here in the first. And Shannon Barrett quickly into the front court, looking for Lisette DeBoard underneath. The pass for her is a little too high, and another dangerous turnover and sloppy play by the Bearcats.
Yeah, that's another possession with nothing to show. And it's 3-0 favor Brooklyn. So it's all good for the Bearcats. But, again, they have to, do something in terms of helping themselves.
And Green's entry pass there looking for Hansgen is no good, and it'll go back to Baruch as the pass was, I wouldn't say overthrown, but just off on direction as Melinda Spayu gets a dangerous pass from Ahmed. A little back and forth and give and go between them two. Pass inside for DeBoard. Again, very dangerous. And once again, these cross-court passes, Joe, really hurting the Bearcats early on.
Yeah, Baruch has a problem when they've been pressed. That leads to major turnovers for them.
And Veronica Green shot's no good. Almost gets her own rebound. Goes off her hands out of bounds, and it'll be Baruch's ball underneath with 7:43 remaining here in the first. Now Arias will walk it up as Brooklyn pick them up on the half-court trap. Nice find there by Spayu to DeBoard. Her shot is blocked, though, from behind by Mansgen, and it's going to go the other way with Mugen. Mugen brings it into the front court. Mack now right wing, takes the pick from Green left, uses it, drives into the paint, finds Hansgen underneath. Nice play there by Karen Mack, and you can see why she leads her team in some of the categories that she does.
Yeah, that was a no-look pass. from one end of the court to the other.
Now Spahiu has it, trying to find the cutting Barrett. Looked like Shannon Barrett wanted to pass a little bit more on the run, and Spahiu was setting her up for the jumper.
Yeah, I think Daniela Arias has to get the ball and play quarterback at the top for Baruch to be successful. That's a formula that's proven that's worked for them.
Seems like this half-court trap by Brooklyn has been maybe disrupting things a little bit for the Baruch on the offensive end. So far held scoreless 3 minutes into the game as Mugen gets a corner three opportunity, rebounded, fall forward by DeBoard and Green. It's going to be Green, but then here comes Arias in to come away with the steal, and Arias is going to push into the front court and finds Ahmed.
Yeah, hopefully that's a sign of good things to come. Whenever Daniela Arias takes over a game, that leads Baruch in a good way.
So number 50, Chanel Jamat, checks into the game as Veronica Green comes to the bench for a breather. Jamat, freshman out of Brooklyn. Now Shannon Barrett going to drive. It looks like she's got some contact. She hits the deck looking for a call. Nothing there, and she has to get back as Brooklyn look to push. Karen Mack into the front court. Finds Mugen, right wing three. Able to knock it down. Big swish there by Mugen. And Baruch trail 8-0 here in the early going.
Yeah, that was too easy. She got a chance to set her feet, have a nice cup of coffee, and then shoot the ball.
Now Arias has up top, and Joe, I've been noticing they were really trying to get the ball out of Arias' hands while coming up the court, a little bit to the chagrin of yours.
Well, you know, the scouting reports tell a lot of story. Teams now know what works for Baruch. They want to take that away.
And another turnover there by Baruch. Still nothing on the board as Mack now for Brooklyn College comes into the front court. She turns around and has Melinda Spahiu on her. Inside to Jamet. Jamet at the free throw line, turns around, thinks about the shot, instead kicks it out. George has it for Brooklyn. Wild underhook shot, no good, but Mugen gets the rebound. Sorry, Hansgen get the rebound, and Jamet able to finish inside, and that's going to be a timeout for Coach Kellyanne Barrett and the Baruch Bearcats to talk things over. And if you're Brooklyn College, you have to like the start. And if you're Baruch, not necessarily what you're looking for here in the early going.
No. What's happening right now, as that timeout occurred, you see a team that is lost. The body language, and, of course, on that last play, a wide-open attempt for Brooklyn. What Coach Barrett has to say to her team now, listen, forget the records, forget what you people have read. Let's just play basketball. And let's just play basketball, do what you do. That's limit the turnovers, have Arias at the top distributing, and let's get Shannon Barrett going because she's usually a catalyst for the Bearcats. She has not really done anything so far.
And even her one shot attempt so far has looked a little off as it was a left wing three. That was way short. And now Baruch are going to bring it into the front court. It's going to be Barrett. Another dangerous pass there up top to Arias. Now gives it to Spahiu at the elbow. Michelle Pena just checking into the game for Brooklyn College. Arias' corner three's off. Barrett comes away with the rebound, though. She fights for it, throws it back out to Arias. Ahmed thinks about the shot, instead drives, floater in the lane. No good. Hit back rim and stayed out.
Yeah.
And now Pena will push for Brooklyn College. Gives it over to George, up top to Pena. Now swung around to Mugen. Mugen, dangerous cross-court pass, though, but George wide open, and Barrett will get the weak side rebound.
What could be a problem for the Bearcats the rest of this evening is they're just letting Brooklyn do what they want on offense.
And that's going to send Samira Ahmed to the line as she is fouled there by number 2, Michelle Pena, the freshman from Maspeth High School in Queens. And so far scoreless for Baruch in the first 5 minutes and 13 seconds, and they're off on the first free throw. And Ahmed able to knock down the second, so Baruch on the board with 4:47 remaining.
Okay, so that's one accomplishment. Now Baruch has to build slowly back into the game.
But definitely want to play some quality defense here. Nice block there. As I'm saying it, Shannon Barrett on the block, hits the deck, gives it off to Arias. Nice play there by Barrett, and Arias into the front court, almost loses the ball herself. And that's going to be a carry. She lost the ball a little bit, and when she tried to recover, she carried it, and it'll go back to Brooklyn College with 4.5 remaining here in the first.
Yeah, Baruch again is going to have to take their time, one play at a time, getting back in.
Jamet inside. Nice play there off glass with the right hand, going in strong between two defenders. And once again, forcing the ball out of Arias' hands here is Brooklyn College with that trap. And a pass there by Barrett is turned over by Spyu, picked up by Spyu, thrown out to Arias. Now it's Ahmed, baseline jumper, no good. Rebound fought for. It's going to be DeBoard. She saved it, but she steps out of bounds. Heel on the baseline, and it's going to go back to Baruch. Back to Brooklyn. Sorry, Joe.
One of these things that we talked about last game was defensively, Baruch has to seal the people down low. Do not let them get the ball and get into a great position so they could just turn.
And Jamat gets it inside. Gets it inside. No good, and Baruch's able to come away with it. Arias has it in the front court, and her pass turned right over. And it's going to be George quick going end-to-end here with the layup. 12-1 Brooklyn lead with 3.5 remaining here in the first.
Yeah, Daniela has to calm down a little bit. She's trying to do too much.
Now Shannon Barrett gives it off to Arias, and this is who Joe wants to see with the ball in their hands. Spyu bounce out to Arias, almost thrown away there. George closing down on Arias, able to keep it. Spyu at the free throw line, jumper, no good. Rebound though by Spyu, nice play there. It looks like she got some contact, unable to finish at the rim.
Yeah, that could have easily been 2 shots.
And a turnover there as Pena's pass goes right through the hands of Hansgen underneath as Karen Mack quick to check back into the game. And also for the first time, Emma Somers will be checking into the game. Coach Alex Lang barking out the defensive orders for his Brooklyn College. Crossover move by Barrett in the backcourt, and you've seen that they're trying to get the ball, I think, to Barrett in the backcourt because she's already had a couple turnovers here in the early going. Now Barrett's elbow jumper around and out, no good. Rebounded underneath by DeBoard as that's tied up, and it's going to be a 3-second violation against Baruch, and they're going to turn it over again. 14-1 Brooklyn College lead with 2:45 remaining here in the first.
What's happening, David, Brooklyn is trapping, putting 2 men on the ball handler up top immediately. So Baruch really should not stop their dribble and get into that position.
Now Mack, corner 3. Left side, no good. It's short, and I think there's going to be a foul off the ball. The foul is going to be on number 25. Jasmine Hansgen has Shannon Barrett hit the deck. Nice play there by Shannon Barrett to find position and battle for that rebound underneath. So Baruch playing well at the defensive end. It's really the offensive end where they're seeing their struggles.
Yeah, they're going to have to find somebody to just get a little fire burning. 1 possession at a time.
Arias picks up her dribble, gives it off to Ahmed. Now Spyu at the free throw line. She almost loses it. Now it's Ahmed, baseline jumper. Off front rim, no good, but it's going to be Barrett on the rebound. She's blocked. Gets her own ball back, though, and her shot's a little strong off right rim, no good, and Karen Mack comes away with the rebound for Baruch. Now Somers in the corner trying to bounce it inside to Hansgen is no good, and it's going to go back to Baruch. Yeah, another nice defensive stop there by the Bearcats.
The Bearcats got lucky because the Brooklyn player was in a great position to turn to the basket.
Actually, excuse me, it's going to be Brooklyn's college ball. As Hansgen's right elbow jumper, no good, but the rebound there by Jamat, and she's able to finish at the rim with the right hand off glass. 16-1 Brooklyn lead with 2 minutes remaining here in the first.
Jamat, the leading rebounder for Brooklyn, but once she gets position, it's awfully tough to move her.
And the foul is going to be on 34, Lisette DeBoard, as Shannon Barrett got free at the rim. But once again, unforced errors are plaguing Baruch here in the early going.
Yeah, they just can't find anything going on the offensive end. Now they just got to lock down defensively.
Oh, Jamat, nice jump hook there, no good. Very nice post moves by Chanel Jamat. But Baruch come away with it. It's Ahmed to Arias. Arias gets fouled hard, and she hits the deck, and she'll go to the line to shoot 2. Nice play there by Arias, but even more so, nice play there at the defensive end. On the offensive end, on the other end by Brooklyn's Chanel Jamat.
Yeah, Brooklyn's getting great inside position. Baruch has to take that away or it's going to be a long evening.
And checking into the game for Baruch, number 25, Maria Marianthopoulos, as Lisette DeBoard comes to the bench.
That was a great pass from Ahmed to a streaking Arias who caught it in stride to the basket. That's what you want to see. to break down the Brooklyn defense.
And 16-2, only 1 of 2 from the line there. Now Somers has it. Pena gives it inside. It was to Hansgen, back out to Somers. Now Mack has it left wing. Gives it to Somers, and that ball's thrown away. Goes off the hand of Somers, and just a few inches too tall makes all the difference.
Yeah, well, that's what Baruch is looking for, Brooklyn to turn it over. It's an easy possession then. Now they can go back on offense and cut into this lead.
And it looks like Belinda Spahiu going to get fouled there. She cut between 2 defenders and tried to finish at the rim. And, Joe, what I've noticed is a lot of times Baruch really pushing the pace, and I'm not sure that's the tempo that they want to play at.
Well, I think that they're trying to get it all back in one possession. I think I've mentioned that a few times, but it's really the story of this first quarter. The leadership of Baruch has to come forward and say, easy, we'll be okay. Let's just take care of our business on defense. The offense will come, as we've seen. Sometimes it takes a couple of quarters for Ahmed to get going, but I really want to see Shannon Barrett start to assert herself.
And Baruch only 1 of 2 from the line there, as they trail 16-3 with a minute left here in the first. Nice steal there by Arias as the pass to Green was intercepted. Arias going end-to-end, pull-up jumper. That's going to be way short. Barely grazes rim, and it's going to be George quickly into the front court for Brooklyn, and they're going to push. Mack wants it across court. She gets it, swung around to Mugen. Now it's back to Mack. Mack's going to take the pick right from Green. Covered by Arias. Nice crossover move. Gives it back out to Green. Green's going to drive right. And then she gives out to George. George straightaway 3. Around and out. No good. But Green comes away with the rebound. Just wanting it more right now is Brooklyn College.
Well, also the ball just found Green. She didn't really have to do anything.
And it's going to go back to Baruch, who will have an opportunity to hold for the last shot, trailing by 13 here in the first.
A basket here by the Bearcats would go a long way.
Turner just a little bit of momentum going into the second quarter. Arias now picked up by George. Her pass tipped away, though, and Ahmed saves it from going out of bounds. She drives. Pull-up jumper by Samira Ahmed. Knocks it down. Nice shot there by the 5'6" junior from Hillcrest High School.
Couldn't have come at a better time.
Mack has it at the free throw line, and they ran out of time as George gets the ball in the corner. Her shot good, but will not count. So that'll do it for the first. Baruch having some early on struggles, trailing 16-5. You're watching Baruch basketball on YouTube channel, Baruch Bearcats.
No one ever won a race because it was their turn. And guzzling the right sports drink never won all 3 sets. You can't talk your way through a tournament, and luck doesn't last. Real champions know that it takes more to do more, because wanting it just isn't good enough. You've got to be smarter, faster, tougher. After all, if championships were easy, everybody would have one. City University of New York Athletic Conference. Learn, play, succeed.
And welcome back to the Arc Arena on the campus of Baruch. Do not forget, Thursday, February 8th, this Thursday, 2 nights from now, it's our big matchup against Hunter. And not only that, it's the Battle of Lexington. It's going to be a huge crowd on campus. It's also the CUNYAC Game of the Week, so definitely come out for that. If you're not on campus, you know where to watch it. YouTube channel, Baruch Bearcats. And it's going to be a great matchup, Joe. Hunter College, of course, a historic rivalry, but the Battle of Lex just makes it that much bigger. On top of that, being the CUNYAC Game of the Week.
Yeah, nothing but a great night of action. I really look forward to it. Actually, I look forward to that every year now because the fan enthusiasm is really infectious.
So Karen Mack now has it up top, covered by Daniela Arias. Crossover mover on her, goes left, and she's fouled, and the ball's going to be underneath. The foul's going to be on number 14, Daniela Arias. Now Mack to inbound underneath for Brooklyn College. Gives it up top to Maresca. Maresca gives it to Mack, baseline. Shot looks short, and it is short. Marianthopoulos fighting for the rebound with Green on the floor, and it's going to be a jump ball, and the possession arrow is going to be towards Baruch. And it'll be Bearcats basketball, 9:44 remaining. A nice first defensive possession here for the Bearcats.
Great play by Marianthopoulos, and that's what you want. You want something to start things off to lead to something on the offensive end and cut into this lead.
I like to see Arias bring the ball up a little further on that press because she had a few feet to go as Ahmed's jumper off front rim. Rebound fought for there by Spayu, but Karen Mack comes away with it for Brooklyn College.
Yeah, to your point, Arias usually is effective at the top of the key.
Hansgen gives it out to George. George, one dribble, able to knock down the baseline jumper. Nice shot there by number 22, Taylor George.
Yeah, one dribble, she set herself free. Baruch has to bear down.
And it's going to be a foul on number 5, Karen Mack. That's going to be her first tonight. Then Baruch will inbound underneath with Shannon Barrett. Gives it off to Arias, up top to Spayu. Now to Barrett, left corner, thinks about the shot, instead gives up to Spayu, and Spayu will set up the offense. Now Barrett, left wing 3, no good. Rebounded, fought for there, and it's going to be Mugen that comes away with it for Brooklyn College. And I think a waste of possession there for Baruch. Definitely trying to find a better shot than a left wing 3 down trailing 13.
Yeah, I'd like to see Barrett put it on the floor and like a running back, you know, go for, try to get into the secondary, get to the foul line as well.
Now George has it. She drives on Spayu. Her jumper, able to knock it down. Unorthodox shooting style from Taylor George.
But the defense is just giving up too easy.
Now Arias double teamed by Mack and Mugen, and she bounced it off Mugen's leg. Nice play there by Arias.
What Arias can't do, Dave, is dribble away from center court because that's where the double team comes from. And that's when the trouble starts. She's got to stay in the center of the court, get rid of the ball. If Baruch moves the ball rapidly, these traps can't work for Brooklyn.
There's got to be a lot more side-to-side movement, too. A lot more players moving off the ball as
Right.
Barrett's going to drive right into the chest of Green, and she's fouled as she hits the deck. Veronica Green on the foul. And it's going to send Shannon Barrett to the line to shoot 2.
Okay, Barrett, a little more of that. Get to the foul line and possibly get 2 and really give things for Brooklyn to think about. I don't think they want to see Barrett coming at them too much.
No, I mean, she's dominant with the left hand, and she has some, she's able to find her space with the size.
Yeah, I think that they want to counteract that.
Shannon Barrett knocks down the second, so 20-6, Brooklyn leading. While they're playing well at the defensive end, needing a little help here at the offensive end to create some points. Now George has it in the corner, stolen there almost by Marianthopoulos, but George comes away with the loose ball.
Second good hustle play by Marianthopoulos since she's been in the game. And these bench people can really ignite something for Baruch.
And now George gets the right wing 3, able to knock that one down as well. Back-to-back threes there by Taylor George, and 23-6, Brooklyn College lead.
Yeah, you can't, again, allow her to get that one dribble and free herself.
Now Arias drives into the paint. Floater there, no good. Rebounded by Barrett, hard, looking for a foul call, doesn't get it, but Spayu comes away with the rebound. And they reset the shot clock, even though it never hit the rim, so it'll be, instead of a fresh shot clock, it'll be 16 seconds left, 7:15 remaining on the game clock. Baruch's ball underneath, as it'll be Arias to inbound for the Bearcats. Looking for options, gives it up top to Ahmed, now to Barrett. Barrett's left wing 3, that's been her sweet spot of late. No good, rebounded by, it looks like Hansgen for Brooklyn, and Karen Mack will bring it into the front court for Brooklyn College. And a steal there. Dangerous pass there by Taylor George trying to find Mack. Arias picks it off, easily goes coast to coast. And there's going to be a timeout for Coach Alex Lang and Brooklyn College with 6:56 remaining in the second quarter. Brooklyn lead 23-8. You're watching Baruch Basketball on YouTube channel, Baruch Bearcats.
It starts right when you hit the court. You imagine your finest moment. The game-winning shot that gets you to the dance. A monster dunk or no-look pass, and cutting down the net. Sports lets us dream of our own success and prepare us for our finest moments on and off the court.
And welcome back to the Arc Arena. Baruch trail right now 23-8, a little under 7 minutes remaining here in the half. With Brooklyn has the ball. Karen Mack has it up top for the Bulldogs. Green swings it around to trying to find Mugen, almost like a no-look pass. They didn't see where the ball was going before she put the pass out.
Dave, just for the viewers at home, there's a little swing of momentum right at this point. Daniela Arias coast to coast on a great anticipation steal. Now a Brooklyn turnover, and you might have something here.
Now Spayu will bring it into the front court. She's double teamed, trying to find Arias. Pass goes through her hands, but she's able to corral it, as it also went through Jamat's hands for Brooklyn. Now Spayu has it at the free throw line, gives it off to Arias in the corner, gives it off to Barrett. Barrett drives, elbow jumper, no good. Looking for a foul there. She got some contact on the arm, no call. And George has it in the front court. Barrett comes away with the steal, but she also goes out of bounds. And it'll stay with Brooklyn College underneath. Nice hustle play there by Shannon Barrett to get back as she was on the floor on the offensive end.
Yeah, on the last possession, what Baruch should have done is gone right to the basket, because I think they have Brooklyn on the heels.
Now Mack inbound to Mugen, her 3-ball. Nice shot there by number 4, Alex Mugen. Able to knock down the left wing 3. And a carry there by Daniela Arias in the backcourt. Another unforced error for Baruch. And you can see Arias, the frustration starting to set in for the Bearcats.
Yeah, she's trying to do a little too much.
Jamat has it now up top. And her ball thrown off of the back of Arias, and it goes out of bounds. So it'll stay with Brooklyn College, but dangerous pass if you're Chanel Jamat.
Yeah, Baruch, once again, I know they just got a 3 against them, but they have to remain tough and make it happen defensively.
Now Hansgen has it for the Bulldogs. Gives inside to Jamat, trying to work on Shannon Barrett. Able to finish with that right hand. Nice move there by Chanel Jamat. And having a really impressive game, Joe, in the low post.
Yeah, Baruch is going to have to double team if need be Jamat. They're going to once again they're going to have to deny her the ball. But if she does get the ball, they're going to have to put people around her. Don't let her turn and look at the basket.
And Baruch, another turnover there, trailing 28-8 with 5:45 remaining here in the half. And if you're Coach Kellyanne Barrett, more so, you just have to be kind of upset about the effort that Baruch's giving. And it's going to be an offensive foul. Nice play there by Shannon Barrett. The foul is going to be on number 25, Jasmine Hansgen. And Coach Lang really wants an explanation from the refs on that one. I think he has a little bit of a gripe there because it looked like it was not direct contact into the chest.
Yeah. That was just a player falling down. But Brooklyn has helped themselves with 4 3-point shots in this quarter, which is, 4.5 could be tough, but 4 has really separated themselves from the Bearcats.
And Arias getting frustrated on that. Jamat now going right at Shannon Barrett. Able to finish with the right hand. Nice play there by Chanel Jamat. And you can kind of see a little bit of a give up here from Baruch. I don't know if it's the score or just frustration right now and how they're playing. But you want to see a little bit more of an effort from them. That the offensive end, granted, but the defensive end is where they've really been playing pretty well and kind of struggling right now.
Well, defensively, I think they're bothered by some of the things that Brooklyn's trying to do. They're definitely bothered by Jamat as she, tries to assert herself down low, or even when she puts the ball down. Barrett is just opening up and giving her the lane to go to the basket.
Now Marianthopoulos has it, gives it up top to Arias. Swung around to Ahmed, finds Arias. Now it's going to be Barrett over to Marianthopoulos. That pass is too high. And two people you're very surprised to see the frustration from Arias and Barrett, kind of the two leaders on this team. A little bit frustrated with the way they've been, not only they've been playing, but some of their teammates as well, and it's starting to become visible.
Yeah. What's going to happen is somebody like Ahmed is going to have to step up.
And a 3 there by Mugen's no good. Rebounded by Marianthopoulos, and Barrett will push it into the front court.
Spayu has been very quiet in this game.
Jumper by Spayu, no good. Tipped out by Barrett, and George comes away with it. Shortest player on the court pulls away that rebound. George now finds Hansgen inside, finds the backdoor cutter of Jamat. But nice play there by Melinda Spayu to break up the backdoor pass.
Yeah, Spayu is going to have to assert herself. We've seen a pattern in some earlier games where if Arias and Barrett were not on their game, somebody had to help out.
Spayu having a monster season defensively as that shot's knocked down by Hansgen, averaging 3 steals a game, Joe. So definitely in contention for Defensive Player of the Year in the conference.
Yeah, just a freshman, but really has come on, and we really look forward to what's ahead in her career here at Baruch.
And now Spayu gets it underneath, able to finish with the right hand. Nice play there, and Coach Lang wants a timeout as he's frustrated with the defensive effort, and it's been really effort that's really separated this game. Brooklyn's really been pushing and gunning, and Baruch really struggling with their effort.
Yeah, because Baruch never got into a pattern on offense, and everything kind of, I want to say, whatever happens, happens. Well, that's not a good recipe for success.
So with 3:44 remaining, the Bulldogs are going to take a timeout. Baruch trail 32-10. You're watching Baruch basketball on YouTube channel, Baruch Bearcats. And they're going to need a little bit more here, Joe, in the second half, and the rest of the second quarter to even put a dent in this lead with 22 right now with 3:45 remaining. Don't forget to tune in. Stay tuned tonight, as after this game we'll have a little bit of a break for warm-ups, but then we'll come back with the pregame around 7:25 because tip-off for the men's game is going to be at 7:30. A big matchup as the Baruch men's side trying to really hold on to that 3 seed, only a game up on Hunter in the CUNYAC standings.
Yeah, with 3:39 remaining, Dave, Baruch really has to limit any more production and try and chip away.
And Jamat's shot no good, but the rebound there by number 25, Jasmine Hansgen for the Bulldogs, and she's able to finish. And once again, an effort play on the defensive end by Baruch.
Yeah, letting a Brooklyn player get position and finish.
The foul's going to be on number 50, Chanel Jamat. And I believe that's going to be her 3rd tonight, so she's going to come to the bench. Of course, no need to get anyone in foul trouble right now with the lead the way it is, and the way Jamat's been playing. You're going to want to see. You're going to want to use her in the second half. Dominant so far on the offensive end.
Baruch has no answer for Jamat. But what Baruch has to do defensively for now and in the future is just find a player and deny them position and do what they call front them. Put their hand up, and the greatest thing, you'll deflect it to a teammate, hopefully.
And a turnover there by Michelle Pena as her pass for Veronica Green is no good. And, we're not going to be in the locker room at halftime, Joe, but I have to assume Coach Barrett's talk is going to be mostly about the effort that they've given tonight and their lack of.
Yeah, you could see defensively, once again, I call it a Swiss cheese kind of situation where Brooklyn was able to do whatever they wanted, load post shots, threes.
And I feel like, Joe, nice play there by Spayu to find Ahmed backdoor, and Ahmed's able to lay it in. But, Joe, I find that it hasn't been the whole game. Their defensive effort was great for the first quarter and maybe then some into the second, but the last 5 to 6 minutes has been a little bit of a struggle effort-wise.
Well, to your point, Dave, I think what happened, the Baruch miscues on defense came at the wrong time, where a 3 occurred for Brooklyn or a basket down low, and that upped the lead. So it was not in stretches, but the wrong time.
You have a quality team like this in Brooklyn College, 19-2 overall, 11-1 in the conference, leading the conference right now by a game and a half. You can't be giving them extra possessions because they don't need it to beat you. And the more possessions you give them, they're just going to capitalize.
No, and they do what they do. So if you're Baruch, you have to just take them away and frustrate them.
Karen Mack into the front court for Brooklyn College after Marion Thopoulos' shot was off on the offensive end for Baruch. Now Mack has it right wing, looking for options, and finds number 25, Hansgen, underneath. Nice play there by Jasmine Hansgen to create position, and a couple layups for her in the last few possessions.
Well, that was a gift. Mack is going to find you. That's first of all, and boy, she found somebody with great position.
And now Spayu has it. High shot. Nice play there by Melinda Spayu, and one. She's able to finish high off the glass and have an opportunity to cut the lead back to 21.
I know that the score indicates a deficit, but you have to be excited about Melinda Spayu if you're a Bearcat fan. When things are not going good, she does some little things that really start possible momentum changes.
And Spayu off on the free throw. Hansgen comes away with it for the Bulldogs. I mean, give it a year or two, Joe, and I could see Spayu really being one of the dominant players in the conference.
I could see her just being a do-it-all player on both ends.
And Green gets picked. Arias comes away with the steal there. She curls around, gives it inside to Barrett. Barrett working on Green, off glass, too hard. Spyu comes away with the rebound for the Bearcats. Up top to Arias, and Arias will set up the offense for Baruch. 1:23 remaining here in the half. Now Spyu, nice bounce pass to find Barrett. Go with the left hand, a little strong, and Barrett's really been struggling from the field. And you can see, once again, we mentioned the frustration really come over her.
Barrett has had great looks, but hasn't been able to finish. But let's credit Melinda Spyu keeping the play alive. Arias pulled it out and allowed that to develop.
Now Arias to inbound, first 30 for Baruch. Looking for options, gives it up top to Ahmed. Over to Barrett, her pass way too high. Samira Ahmed, a couple unforced errors for Samira Ahmed in the first half, and Baruch just turning the ball over way too much here in the first.
Yeah, Barrett wasn't going to be able to do anything anyway. She had somebody on her. So you might fake to Barrett and go somewhere else, but that's learning for players like Ahmed.
Karen Mack drives left, able to get can't finish, but able to get fouled and go to the line. Foul's going to be number 14, Arias for Baruch, and it'll send Karen Mack to the line to shoot 2. 1:06 remaining here. 36-14, Brooklyn College leads here in the second half. Second quarter, excuse me.
Mack, the leading scorer for Brooklyn, has hurt the Bearcats with her IQ. Not necessarily scoring, but I don't think Brooklyn needs her to score. She looks like she's just, make it happen player on the court. Just her being on the court.
And she's able to knock them down, so a 23-point lead for Baruch. And now Spyu double teamed, ball's loose, and she's going to get fouled, I think. Sorry, I had bad positioning there. Yeah, the foul's going to be on number 22, Taylor George.
Yeah, Baruch keeps making the same mistake. They dribble up the court, and they get too close to the end line, and then causes a double team.
Getting trapped, but half the trap is the end line. And Spyu able to knock down the first.
Yeah, they have to adjust that in the second half. Keep the ball in the center of the court.
Spyu short on the second as Mack comes away with the rebound. Under a minute here, 55 seconds, and Brooklyn's going to push. George thinks about the shot, gives it up top to Mack, looking for Green underneath. Instead, she's picked up by Spyu and dribbles out. Pick left from Green. Takes it. Spyu still up on her. Now Green calling for the ball on the post, working on Barrett. Outside to George. Her corner three, able to knock it down with 40 seconds remaining. Here in the first half, Baruch trail 40-15.
George has had a great second quarter, knocking down the three, and I believe she's accounted for 12 to 15 points because of the three.
Now Shannon Barrett at the line for a free throw opportunity, going to shoot two, with 30 seconds remaining here in the half. Smart play there by Shannon Barrett to really run into the defenders there and make them draw the foul. However, off on the first is Barrett.
Yeah, she's really mentally beating herself up because the ball's not going in for her today.
She knocks down the second, 40-16. And Brooklyn College have a great opportunity to really finish out the half here. Instead, Karen Mack's going to pull up for a right wing three, able to knock it down. Nice shot there by Karen Mack. Just comes right down and shoots it in your face. Nice play there by Mack. And Brooklyn College tipped that pass out of bounds, and it's going to stay with Baruch. They're going to inbound on the far side with Spyu.
Well, one of the things that Coach Barrett's going to talk about with her players at half is contesting shots.
Now Barrett has it up top. 10 seconds left inside to Spyu. She's going to drive, loses the ball, bounce pass out to Ahmed, and it's going to go off George last with 3.9 remaining. Baruch trail 43-16.
For some reason, on offense tonight, Baruch is just throwing and forcing themselves into crowds.
Now up top to Papadopoulos. Her pass stolen by Mack. Mack's half-court shot, no good. And that'll do it for the first half of action here at the Arc Arena. Brooklyn College 43, Baruch 16. And it's been an eventful first half, but not the first half that Baruch wanted, Joe.
No, Baruch never got going offensively or defensively. They got into terrible situations where they dribbled into traffic, trying to bring the ball up, and Shannon Barrett hasn't been able to get started. Daniela Arias hasn't really, gone to the basket like she does. Melinda Spayu is slowly doing the little things that she does. Samira Ahmed hasn't got going. So really, we haven't seen anything materialize. Now on defense, they gave up a barrage of threes to Brooklyn College in that first half. They have to stop that. And also they allowed penetration down low.
So Baruch, only putting up 16 in the first half. How much is frustration coming into this in terms of just giving an energy? Because you got to be worried if you're Coach Kellyanne Barrett just about the energy level and about how quick maybe some of the players have been pointing fingers in this first half.
Yeah, lots of frustration. Too much frustration. And really you have to stay within yourself. Remember, we're well into the season, and you're going to have ups and downs. Now the leadership has to talk up in the locker room and say, listen, this is not about Brooklyn versus Baruch. This is about us and us coming together, and we had a really kind of turbulent first half. Let's go out and give it all to, for ourselves in that second half. So short memory, come out defensively, lock down, do what I've been saying, deny, stop position underneath, and offensively try and get it back one play at a time. Don't try and get it all back in a three. Nice pass from Arias to a streaking teammate or setting up Shannon Barrett in rhythm, and those are the things that you can slowly get back in, but really take Brooklyn out of their comfort zones. Setting their feet for a three or getting it into Jamont for an easy basket.
And as we get handed the stat sheet, currently, like we said, 43-6, being led the way by Taylor George. Chanel Jamont has 10. But if you're looking at Baruch right now, 19 turnovers in the first half. Also let up 14 offensive boards, and they're just not really what you're looking for, especially when you've taken one more shot than your opposition.
And again, we're looking for that player on Baruch to emerge. Barrett may not have it tonight. Arias may not have it. Spayu may not have it. Is Ahmed, is she going to have to really emerge in the second half?
And right now, Shannon Barrett only 2 points, 0 of 13 from the field so far, so just having a cold night, 8 boards there. Leading scorers, Melinda Spayu has 6. No steals, surprisingly, 4 steals for Arias. So like I said, Baruch's defensive presence was there in the first. In the second, letting up 27, getting outscored 27-11 in the second quarter.
Yeah, what happened is, again, George knocked down a couple of threes. And, whenever threes start to mount, that's do the math on that. But I think that, again, it's 43-16. A couple of runs by Baruch in the first couple of minutes. We talk about how important in the first 5 minutes of the second half is. All of a sudden, get Brooklyn College to start thinking, and maybe you can creep back in. So even though this is a kind of sizable lead, if Baruch can get in the heads of Brooklyn College and come together with a couple of individual efforts and then other people join in, that's what we're looking for. That's how teams go from maybe, not so good to good. That's why, you play the game and you have two halves.
Yeah, and it's going to be an uphill battle here in the second half, trailing by 27 early on. But really the big thing is you're only shooting 14%. You have to finish at the rim, and you have to get the shots that you want to get on the offensive end.
What do you have to lose? Put the ball on the floor. Hopefully you'll get to the foul line, and hopefully you'll get a, old-fashioned three-point play. At this point in the season, I think Coach Barrett wants to see a lot of aggressive play, because aggressive play can sometimes make up for when things are not going good.
Right, and like I said, I think Coach Barrett mostly has to be frustrated with the effort given. I thought early on, like I said, in the first quarter, maybe a little bit into the second, the defensive effort was there, but you're talking about letting up 27 points in a 10-minute quarter, almost 3 points a minute. You're not going to win any ball games, not any ball games with that kind of numbers.
I could see Brooklyn College makes off-balance shots, but I can't see when a player can look at the basket and take their time and, get a shot off, which, of course, Taylor George multiple times, had good looks.
And I feel like Chanel Jamat also got the ball in the paint a few times, able to do 1 or 2 dribbles, post move, finish off glass.
Yeah. But that's going to go back to something that the players are going to have to learn about, defensively. Once they get that, watch out for the Bearcats. If they can get better in the interior, because I like what they bring at the top with Arias and Spayu, and also now Ahmed. 4 hands, 4 feet, but down low interior. And Barrett does a great job. But when she turns her body, that leaves the door open for a player, especially like Jamat, who's got, she owns the real estate as it is.
Yeah.
Move her out.
Yeah, she'd be able to find position and really finish at the rim. Her and Hanskin.
Yeah, and I keep saying it's too easy. Defense is about making it harder for the offense.
Right. It's been very easy in the paint so far, and then able to have the inside-outside game with George hitting some threes, like you said, 2 of 4 from the downtown, but also be able to hit some of the mid-range shots.
So Brooklyn has quite a menu to choose from at this point. Hopefully, Baruch takes away these menu options. I know that McDonald's has the $1, $2, $3, but that shouldn't be the case here.
And Brooklyn College has the Mac, the George, and the Jamat. So definitely an uphill battle for Baruch. We got about 8.5 minutes remaining. You're watching Baruch Basketball on YouTube channel, Baruch Bearcats. We'll be back in a few minutes to wrap up our halftime show.
For the love of the game. But for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that. A lot more.
Sure, the game is important, but as we work so hard to build both mind and body, it's more about team.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics, and in giving the gift of sport to those for whom it seemed an impossible dream, we are working to make this a better world.
Help us keep that dream alive.
You can make a difference.
It starts right when you hit the court. You imagine your finest moment. The game-winning shot that gets you to the dance. A monster dunk or no-look pass, and cutting down the net. Sports lets us dream of our own success and prepare us for our finest moments on and off the court.
No one ever won a race because it was their turn. And guzzling the right sports drink never won all 3 sets. You can't talk your way through a tournament, and luck doesn't last. Real champions know that it takes more to do more, because wanting it just isn't good enough. You've got to be smarter, faster, tougher. After all, if championships were easy, everybody would have one. City University of New York Athletic Conference. Learn, play, succeed.
And welcome back to the Arc Arena here on the campus of Baruch College. We're at halftime of the women's game between Baruch and Brooklyn College. I'm going to welcome back my colleague Joe Stolzer. And Joe, it's been a turbulent first half. I think that was the word you used at halftime, and a lot of ground for Baruch to cover.
Yeah. So I think, it's common knowledge. We always say the first 5 minutes of the second half, which team can take advantage of that first 5 minutes, whether you're up or down. In this case, Baruch is down, of course, a comfortable lead for Brooklyn College. But I really think that if Baruch comes out, plays some good defensive possessions, and makes some good choices offensively, maybe this game can take on a different look in the second half.
I think the thing you really want to look out for, and we talked about it, Joe, in the halftime report, is the effort, and how has that effort changed now that we're coming out into the second half?
Yeah, I wonder what Coach Barrett talked about or emphasized in the locker room. What were her 5 points of emphasis? I would be very curious. Of course, effort hopefully was number 1. What was 2, 3, 4, and 5?
Baruch going with the same 5 that they started the game with: Arias, Spayu, Ahmed, Board, and Barrett. For Brooklyn College, it's going to be Mack, Hansgen, George, Mugen, and Green. So the same starting 5s for both teams. Nice pass there by Mack to find a wide open Mugen in the corner. Her shot no good. DeBoard comes away with the rebound, and it'll be Arias to push. And a nice effort there for Baruch Bearcats on the defensive end.
Yeah, DeBoard again, so dependable, getting rebounds the way she positions herself.
Now ball in Ahmed. Gives it up top. That swings it around to Arias to DeBoard. Arias now up top.
That's what you want.
Dangerous pass there by Ahmed, tipped away. Trying to find Barrett. Barrett now inside, gives it even deeper to Spayu. Her shot blocked from behind by Mugen.
Well, I did like the crisp passing of Baruch.
Nice side-to-side movement, trying to find the space and then working inside. George now inside to Green. Green a couple dribbles right into the paint. Gives it outside to Mugen. Right wing, swings it around up top to Mack. Mack outside to Green, who took her spot. Now Hansgen gets away with it. Looked like she might have taken a few steps there. She's covered there. It's going to be Mack, baseline jumper, no good. Elbow jumper, no good. And it's rebounded by Baruch, and Arias will push it into the front court.
2 solid defensive possessions by Baruch out of the gate.
Now Ahmed has it in the corner. Pump fakes, almost travel. That looked like a travel, actually, as the board has it up top to Arias. Arias going to drive. Her pass tipped away by Mack, and it is stolen, as Ahmed was fighting for it. Now Mack going coast to coast, able to finish with the right hand. And once again, a sloppy turnover by Baruch.
Yeah, Daniela has got to slow down. She means well, but when she plays a little too fast, it leads to bad things for the Bearcats.
And now Shannon Barrett has a baseline, goes in strong, can't finish, gets her own rebound, and puts it back in and under for the bucket, 45-18.
That's a good sign that Barrett got one to go down.
Now Mugen, right wing 3 for Brooklyn College.
Boy, the 3-ball has really worked for the Brooklyn attack tonight.
5 of 10 in the first half and 1 of 1 so far in the second. Now Barrett has it, gives it off to Ahmed. Up top to Arias. Arias going to drive. Her ball tipped away by George. As she saves it, though, as Arias hits the deck. Now Spayu getting covered by George, working on her. Gives it up top to Ahmed. Pump fake on Mack. Now Ahmed's floater, no good, off left rim. Rebounded by Spayu, who's able to go up and under and put it in off glass. Nice play there by Melinda Spayu.
Yeah, so Spayu, again, her hustle, keeping the possession alive.
Mack, George, now inside Mugen, corner 3. No good. Rebounded by Hansgen, though, and she's fouled underneath as she goes back up for the layup. Nice defensive play there by DeBoer, but got a little bit too much arm, and it'll be Hansgen to go to the line to shoot 2.
Hansgen just had great position, and the ball just, fell into her hands. But it started where she just had great position.
Hansgen good on the first. And it'll be Jamat and Pena checking into the game as Mack and Green come to the bench with 7:09 remaining here in the third. 49-20, Baruch trail. What a shot there by Hansgen. Hit everything but the bottom of the net.
Yeah, that went for a ride.
And Baruch come away with the rebound, trailing by 29. Gives it up top to Barrett, swung around up top to Arias. Arias looking for options. As it looks like Brooklyn settled more into a zone here in the second half. Emma Price, for her first minutes, her three no good off back rim. And hands get on the rebound, and it'll be Pena to push it into the front court.
Sharon Bannett's got to get out of just standing around because Brooklyn's keying on her. So she's got to make herself available.
And now Jamaat able to finish through Barrett pretty much as Barrett hits the deck. And it'll be another bucket there for Jamaat, having a nice game, 12 points for her.
Jamaat, you really have to put a player on her.
And a corner three there by Emma Price. Her second shot of the third. Well, no good off back rim, and Pena comes away with it for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Price should not be your number one option.
Jumper by Hansgen at the free throw line, no good, but Jamaat comes away with the rebound, fighting for it, but her pass right in the hands of Spahiu. Spahiu quickly going right to left, bringing it to the front court. Nice play there, up and under by Melinda Spahiu, a little bit of a Euro step, and she'll go to the line to shoot two.
Okay, so Spahiu doing what she does, the little things.
And Brooklyn going to the bench here is number 21. Emma Sommers and Grace Martinez Espina check into the game as Mugen and George come to the bench, and you have to wonder how much of this bench we'll see tonight at Brooklyn College with already a 31-point lead, 6 minutes remaining here in the third.
Yeah, Brooklyn really got what they wanted from their starters. They got what they wanted and more.
Was able to knock down the free throw, so it's going to cut it to a 30-point lead, 51-21 with 5:50 remaining. Hands get inside, right hand able to finish is Jamaat. Nice play there.
Yeah, Dave, that's just that's just too easy. Simply, I know the score says one thing, but you got to play with maximum intensity for the entire game.
And now Price gives it over to Barrett in the corner. Her three way overshot, no good, and it's going to go out of bounds off of, I believe, Brooklyn last, and it'll stay with Baruch underneath. And now Arias has it on the inbound. Spahiu up top, gives it off to Barrett, right wing. Barrett gets double teamed, gives it off to Price. Price is passed to the board. As the board's fouled on the entry pass, the foul is going to be on number 50, Chanel Jamaat, her fourth. In danger of fouling out here in the third quarter, Chanel Jamaat, and it looks like Coach Lang is going to keep her out there.
I see Jamaat as a player that if she fouls out, that's okay because she got a great effort anyway.
Now Spahiu gives it to Arias, corner three, able to knock it down. Nice shot there by Daniela Arias.
Great to see that it went down, and these final minutes, no matter what the score is, let's see Baruch continue to do things in a positive way. Execute.
So Coach Lang wants a timeout for his Brooklyn College Bulldogs with 5:02 remaining here in the third. Baruch trail 53-24. You're watching Baruch Basketball on YouTube channel Baruch Bearcats. And don't forget to stay tuned. After this game, we have the second game of a doubleheader between Brooklyn College and Baruch, the men's play. And the men needing a win after losing over the weekend out in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, the men in the men's bracket, Brooklyn and Baruch kind of in the middle of the pack. So people, trying to vie for spots.
Baruch really need to win out at this point in order to try to get that conference bye, one of the first two seeds. And the foul there is going to be on number 31, Shannon Barrett, on the arm, and that'll send Jamaat to the line to shoot two. Only Barrett's first foul of the evening.
Well, if Chima on the men's side has anything to say tonight, a victory is possible for the Bearcats.
Maybe see a little bit more from their secondary scorers as well. William Sixsmith, who had a very off game against Lehman College last Thursday.
Very, very strange. He's usually automatic. he locks and loads.
They limited his shots, though, from the perimeter. Nice defensive job there by Lehman College. See Brooklyn take a page out of their book as Baruch turn it over here. Somers going into getting the ball in the front court, able to finish with the right hand. The lead extends to 31.
Let's see just Baruch execute now. I know the scoreboard says one story, but Coach Barrett should see some execution because there is another game after this.
And Spivey turns it over as Pena can't finish, but Jamat's there to pick up her slack. Jamat hits the deck, and it's going to be a foul underneath against number 14, Daniela Arias.
The strength of Jamat is definitely a problem, plus the fact that she gets position.
And Green checking in for Jamat there, and Pena will inbound. Ahmed checking back into the game as Arias has to come to the bench with 4 fouls. 4:20 remaining here in the third. Inbound right to Somers. Corner 3, short, off rim. Rebounded, though, by Martinez Espina. Green has it at the free throw line, gives it back up top. Swung around from Pena to Espina, now back up to Pena. Now Espina right wing, covered by Spivey. Inside to Maresca, can't finish with the left hand, and now Shannon Barrett's going to push the pace for Baruch. Emma Price gives it over to DeBoer. Now Spivey, straightaway 3. No good. Rebounded by DeBoer, though. Now jumper there by Price. No good. Short. And a missed opportunity there for Baruch to get some more points on the board. And Pena goes straight to the rim. She's fouled. I think that's going to be on number 20, Samira Ahmed. And that's going to send Pena to the line to shoot 2 with 3:38 remaining here in the third. And it's going to be a timeout for Baruch. Trailing 55-24. Coach Kellyanne Barrett wants to talk it over, and it's become a little bit quiet here in the gym tonight, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, the fans thought the game would go one way, but you know what? Let's credit Brooklyn. They have a very good record this year atop the conference. They do a lot of things well. Baruch is a young team. Let's give them credit. They play hard. They've had some great moments this season. And I look forward to a future of really some good play from players who are learning on the job right now. This game tonight is a learning experience. It's not going your way. But in life, it's not what happens. It's what you do after something occurs. How do you move forward? What lessons do you learn? And life, Dave, is really about trying to limit the mistakes you make in a day. In this case, trying to limit mistakes you make in a game. So it's all good. It's a learning experience. Some nights everything works for you. Some nights it doesn't. But you just got to respond and be resilient.
And we'll see what Baruch can do here. As Pena at the line to shoot 2. And knocks down the first.
Marv Albert eloquently used to call this time of a game garbage time.
And Karen Mack checks it to the game as Michelle Pena knocks down both free throws, extending the lead 57-24. And Spivey now brings it into the front court. Trying to find Ahmed, and another turnover there by Baruch, and you could just see some dejected faces on that Bearcats team.
Yeah, if I was Baruch, I would work on some things right now. Get Ahmed back into things. Get her involved in the flow. Let Spivey work on some longer range shots.
And now Green has it up top. Finds Maresca underneath, who's able to finish off glass with ease, and Baruch trail now by 35. And now Barrett running the point a little bit. Gives it up to Spivey. Spivey covered by Somers. Bounce pass into Spivey from from the board. 3 straight away from Shannon Barrett, and she hits.
Well, she hit in stride. That's what she does best. In that case, it was the top of the key.
Now it's going to be Espina from a corner. No good. Her shot rebounded by Barrett for Baruch. And that corner 3 not falling for Espina as Shannon Barrett goes end-to-end and able to hit a free throw line jumper. Nice little run here from Baruch.
Okay, so Barrett is finding herself.
And now Espina drives off back rim. No good. Rebounded, batted around. It's going to be Maresca who comes away with it for Brooklyn College. Mack thinks about the three. Instead gives it to Green. Free throw line jumper. Also off. Rebound fought for, and it's going to be Spyu. And the foul is going to be on number 35, Brianna Maresca. Her first.
Spyu's hustle brought that foul on. I just really marvel at the overall play of a freshman, Melinda Spyu, and her savvy and her court awareness. Only going to get better.
Now Ahmed has it in the left wing. Gives it into Spyu, who gives it out to Emma Price on the baseline. Her shot way long, but the board comes away with it. Gets fouled on her putback opportunity, and she'll go to the line to shoot two. The foul on number 35, Brianna Maresca. Again, quick 2 fouls for Maresca.
The board, the ultimate complimentary player.
DeBoard rattles home the first. And DeBoard 2 of 2 from the line. Nice free throw shooting there by Lisette DeBoard. Karen Mack, brings it into the front court, gives it over to Maresca. Swung around to number 20, Serafina Carter, who just checked in. Green has it inside, gives it to Espina, corner 3. Swish, bottom of the net. And Brooklyn College look to continue to extend their lead now up to 31 points.
Yeah, the 3 ball has been a weapon for Brooklyn tonight, no doubt.
And Ahmed's baseline jumper is no good. Rebounded by Brooklyn College, and it'll be Karen Mack into the front court. Now Carter puts it on the floor, but instead takes too many steps before she puts the ball on the ground. And it's going to go back to Baruch. One of the few mistakes we've seen Brooklyn College make all evening, Joe.
Yeah. What happened is a couple of times Brooklyn made mistakes because they just were playing a little fast. When they play within themselves, of course, very effective.
A nice find there from Shannon Barrett to Melinda Spyu, who is right underneath. Cuts the lead to 29. Espina has it, now gives it to Mack. Mack dribbles it back out.
Brooklyn is at its best when they have the ball in Mack's hands.
And Mack's basic free throw line jumper, no good. Rebound fought for, and DeBoard comes away with it. Now Spyu into the front court looking for options underneath. Tries to find Ahmed ahead of the pack, and that was just a sloppy pass by Spyu.
Yeah. Throwing literally to nowhere. But she's got to learn. She's got to learn the shortest distance, is better.
Mack has it up top, covered by Ahmed. Mack finding Espina. Thinks about the shot in the corner, but she drives on Spyu. No good. No options there. Now Mack gets the ball at the free throw line, trying to find a pass inside. And Barrett rips it away from her, and it'll go back to Baruch on the jump ball. Possession arrow going in the Bearcats' favor.
Yeah, activity from Ahmed caused that too. Ahmed is at the top now.
And Barrett has a running point a little bit for Baruch. Seen that a bunch here in the third quarter. Ahmed back up to Barrett. Ball going left to right over to the board, Back up to Barrett from the pass from Spyu. No good. Rebounded, though, by Spyu. Now back up to Barrett. Barrett going to drive left. She gets fouled, hits the deck hard, and she comes down holding her knee. And that's she's going to be able to shoot 2. The foul's going to be on number 20, Serafina Carter, on the trip.
Baruch did everything well there on offense. And when Barrett decided to go to the basket, that's usually a good decision on her part.
And Barrett around and out, hits both sides of the rim, no good. Going through the motions a little bit are both teams here. Just trying to get through this one. It's one of these games where Baruch kind of wants, I think, the clock to speed up. And Brooklyn College, the clock couldn't go slow enough right now. So,
yeah, well, in games like this, you just have to, keep playing. And
nice play there as Karen Mack went end-to-end and finished with a scoop layup as time expired, and that got Brooklyn's College bench off their feet. So after 3 quarters here at the Arc Arena on the campus of Baruch, Brooklyn College 64, Baruch 34. You're watching Baruch basketball on YouTube channel, Baruch Bearcats.
It starts right when you hit the court. You imagine your finest moment. The game-winning shot that gets you to the dance. A monster dunk or no-look pass, and cutting down the net. Sports lets us dream of our own success and prepare us for our finest moments on and off the court.
And welcome back to the Arc Arena. 10 minutes remaining here in this ball game. Trailing by 30 is Baruch. And Joe, at this point, you're kind of just going through the motions and trying to finish it out, make it maybe a little bit more respectable here at the end.
Yeah. Excuse me. I'm all choked up about the what's going on in that when it's a 30-point game, obviously people are wondering what happened. You know, what happened is some things Brooklyn did, not a lot of things, just amounted to, a big lead. They didn't do anything extraordinary. Yes, it helps to knock down threes.
And we're underway here in the fourth quarter. Danielle Arias has checked back into the game for Baruch. Maresca has it now in the block. Gives it up top to Mack, trying to find options, takes the pick from Jamat. Gives it outside to George, now finds Maresca in the paint, covered there, but nice bounce pass there for Jamat. Leaves it a little short, but gets her own rebound. And she tries to find, it looked like Carter on the backside. Pass is a little strong, and it'll go back to Baruch, with 9:36 remaining here in the game.
Yeah, the Bearcats don't want any part of Jamat.
And now Barrett will bring it into the front court. Arias' pass tipped away. Karen Mack comes away with the steal. Gives it off to George, going end-to-end, able to lay it in. And wouldn't want to be at practice tomorrow there, Joe.
It's interesting that the starters are in for Brooklyn.
And Arias' backside pass tipped away by Maresca. And it'll be Baruch's ball underneath with 9:13 remaining.
Well, practice tomorrow for Baruch could be all defense.
And now Spayu gets it, drives, free throw line jumper, no good. It looked like Barrett took a charge there at midcourt, but no, nice play there by Chanel Jamet. Goes behind the back, but her reverse layup was blocked. And George trying to lay it in, but it comes back out to Carter. Carter's jumper is no good. Well, it was good, but the foul is going to be on Carter. Offensive foul as Arias takes the charge. But a nice crossover move there by Jamat.
Yeah.
At the three-point line.
Yeah. Really good body control by Jamat.
That's going to be a full timeout for the Bulldogs with 8:49 remaining here in the game. They lead 66-34. You're watching Baruch Basketball on YouTube channel, Baruch Bearcats.
Dave, I could see why Brooklyn would be a really tough out here in CUNY. Man, very talented players. The ability to shoot the three, interior game. Okay defense.
This is a Brooklyn College team, Joe, that's also lost in the conference championship each of the last 3 years. So they have some experience getting there, just a little trouble getting over that hump. But they might have put together the pieces this year to really give themselves a well-rounded team to have a chance of winning the conference.
It helps when you have a leader like Mack. She looks like a very solid leader. And, they play with a lot of confidence, Dave.
I mean, if you're Mack, Maresca, and Green, the seniors on this team that have experienced those 3 championship losses, I don't think anyone right now in the conference is as hungry as these 3 girls are.
No. And, that's a credit to the coaches that have put this team together. And, freshmen turn into sophomores, the maturity. And sometimes you're rewarded with championships.
And Shannon Barrett has it now in the front court for Baruch. Up top, she's covered by Mack. Passing the corner to Ahmed. She finds Spayu in the middle in the paint, and she's able to knock down the 8-foot jumper as Melinda Spayu cuts it back to 30 with 8.5 left.
Great play by teammates. Spayu, again, working on her game.
Now Karen Mack will call it the offensive play. It's thrown in there by Coach Lang. Gives it off to Jamat. She's able to turn on Shannon Barrett, face her up at the right elbow. Barrett all over her, kicked out there. Corner 3 by Carter is way long. but weak side rebound by Maresca. Nobody's there to
Too
help
easy.
out on the defense.
Too easy. Gotta, once again, whether you're up 30 or down 30, you have to commit to playing defense.
Arias hits the deck, able to find an open Ahmed, though, in the corner. Shot no good, and rebounded again by George. The ball swung around. Now it's Mack, right wing three for Brooklyn College, able to knock it down. Nice shot there by Karen Mack, who continues to lead the way for Brooklyn College.
Had an easy look, Dave. Even now, the ability to set your feet and get a good look.
Now Arias inside with the right hand, no good, a little too strong. And rebounded by Carter, gives up to Mack, and Mack will bring it into the front court for Brooklyn. Trying to find her options, finds George in the corner. And Ahmed covering her. Gives it back to Mack, and Mack will slow things up and call out the offense. 7 minutes and 10 seconds remaining here in the ball game for Baruch. Nice find there is Jamat underneath, a pass by Maresca. Jamat, 2 offensive boards on her own miss, and then they'll reset up top with Karen Mack.
Yeah, the ball just finding Jamat.
3 there by George, no good. Rebounded by Arias if there was tipped around, and she's going to push it into the front court, and she gets fouled in transition. Foul's going to be number 20, Serafina Carter.
Danielle Arias still playing hard, and you want to play hard. You want to play hard because this will carry over into the next game. That's how this thing unfolds.
And as one of the upperclassmen on the team, you definitely want to lead by example if you're Arias.
Yeah, you can't give up. Things didn't work out the way you wanted.
Now Barrett drives left, goes between 3 defenders, gives it off to Spyu. Nice handoff pass there. Back into Barrett, able to finish with the left hand at the rim.
Who is responsible? That's Melinda Spyu. Remember that name.
Now Pena has it, takes the pick from Hansgen, gives it over to Somers, bounces it inside to Maresca. Her shot high, but no good, a little short on the rim. Barrett comes away with the rebound, and she travels. It's going to go back to Brooklyn College. I thought she got fouled underneath, but they're going to say too many steps.
Yeah.
With 6:22 remaining here in the game.
Shannon's very upset.
And Barrett comes to the bench. You have to wonder if this is her last minutes of the game tonight. Don't need to give her any taxing minutes, trailing by 43.
Yeah, the ball didn't drop for her tonight, but she did some things away from the ball, as she always does.
A nice shot there by Somers to extend the lead to 45. Baruch trail 73-38. 6 minutes remaining here in the ball game. And Spyu now drives. She gets fouled on the jumper with 5:57 remaining. The foul is going to be on number 25, Brianna Maresca, number 25, Jasmine Hansgen, And that's going to send Spyu to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, Spyu has continued to play throughout. And, again, she's so impressive. Only a freshman.
Spyu knocks down the first. And Spy able to knock down the second, so 2 for 2 at the line, 73-40, Brooklyn College lead. Now Maresca finds Hansgen inside, able to finish at the rim. And once again, the size of Hansgen and Jamat and Green really giving Baruch some fits.
Dave, that's to my point that defensively Baruch had their bodies turned and gave a receiver an easy look.
A nice shot there by Ahmed, baseline, able to hit that one. About an 18-footer. Baruch trail by 33. A little bit of a run for Baruch here in the last few minutes. And the turnover and ball goes out of bounds. Last off Brooklyn College, and it'll be Baruch's ball on the far side.
Yeah, it would be great to see Baruch end here on a nice run. Just, for team morale and also for individual growth.
And now Arias has it. She's going to drive. She gets fouled as the shot's a little too strong, but it'll send Daniela Arias to the line. The foul's on number 15. It's going to be on Martinez Espina, and that'll send Arias to the line to shoot 2.
Arias went hard to the basket, and that's her at her best.
Arias able to rattle home the first. 75-43 Brooklyn College lead. Way off on the second, and Hanskin comes away with the rebound for Brooklyn College. Pena into the front court. Somers has it now, covered by Arias. Bounce pass inside to Maresca, trying to create space against the board. Gives it to Pena, now inside to Hanskin. Back out to Pena, her right wing three. Off back rim, no good. Rebound loose, and it's going to be Martinez that comes away with it for Brooklyn College. And a nice play there to throw it off the feet of Samir Ahmed, and it's going to stay with Brooklyn with 4:36 remaining in the game.
Brooklyn's still hustling.
And now Somers to inbound on the far side. Looking for options, and she finds Pena up top.
Good defense by Baruch.
Now Somers inside to Hanskin. Looking for options, gives it back up top to Pena. Arias there on defense. Somers now left wing. Cross-court pass to Espina. Crossover move, working on Marianthopoulos. Up top to Pena, now finds Hanskin. Goes into the paint, no good. Rebound battled around, though, and it's going to be Somers that comes away with it. And one nice play there by Emma Somers. Goes up strong against Melinda Spayu, and that'll send her to the line for an old-school three-point play.
Boy, Baruch did everything well defensively, and that basket occurs. You know, you did your job 98%, and that 2% leads to a basket for Brooklyn.
And Emma Somers, the junior guard from Staten Island, able to knock down the free throw. 78-43, Baruch trail. Now Arias has it, brings it into the front court for Baruch. Somers all over her. Takes the pick from Papadopoulos. DeBoard has it now, looking for options. Gives it over to Marianthopoulos, who gives it to Ahmed. And the pick is going to be, it's going to be a reach-in foul on number 2, Michelle Pena. And that's going to send Ahmed to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, Ahmed tonight didn't get going. And we've seen throughout the season when Ahmed gets going or joins in later in the game, that usually bodes well for Baruch.
And I made it only going 1 of 2 from the line, so cuts it to 34 with 3:50 remaining here in the ball game. And it'll be Pena in the front court for Brooklyn. Somers in the corner. Arias on her. Ball's gone through the middle of the paint, and it's turned over, and it's going to be Papadopoulos that comes away with it. Finds Ahmed. Almost turns it over, and she does actually turn it over. Oh, but gets a steal back. Nice play by Ahmed, and Arias has it now on the left wing. Finds a cutting Marianthopoulos. A little too soft on the layup. Unable to finish, and it's going to be a transition opportunity for Brooklyn. Hanskin has it now in the paint, gives it to Pena. Free throw line jumper, no good off left rim. The board comes away with the rebound for Baruch. And with 3:10 remaining, Baruch has the ball. It's going to be Arias now who drives. Off glass, no good. And it's going to be a jump ball. It's going to stay with Baruch. Nice hustle play there by Lisette DeBoard to keep Baruch with the basketball. And that'll be Thamakun checking into the game as Arias comes to the bench. And also Green will check in for Brooklyn College.
Yeah, Arias again came up short on that last attempt. But she's played well tonight. She just needed some help.
And a steal there by Brooklyn on the inbounds. Another sloppy turnover there by Baruch College. Handoff from Green to Maresca, and that's going to send her to the line to shoot 2 with 2:51 remaining here in the game. Baruch currently trailing 78-44, which has been a one-sided game pretty much from the get-go here tonight, Joe.
Yeah. Things got out of hand just by Brooklyn taking advantage of some miscues by Baruch and really capitalizing. And a small lead just turned into a huge lead. It's not like Brooklyn had an enormous game, but collectively they did some things that just mounted.
And Marianthopoulos' pass looks like it went right through DeBoard's hands, and there's some more clear frustration from this Baruch team. You have to wonder about also the chemistry as well when you see finger pointing like this.
Yeah, they're looking at the scoreboard, which is natural. But also, I think that they had high expectations going into this game.
And a nice steal there by Thamakun, getting her first few minutes of the game tonight.
Especially Baruch at home. That's always, nice to begin the game with.
Thamakun handoff to Ahmed. Almost intercepted there, but Ahmed is going to drive, gives it off to Marianthopoulos. Well, high off glass. Nice play there by Marianthopoulos as that ball finds the bottom of the twine.
She's done some nice things while she's been out on the court. She made some, earlier in the first half, some hustle plays. And she's a good complimentary player for Coach Barrett.
Nice play there by DeBoer to tip it away, and it'll stay. Actually, no, it looks like it's. There's going to be a discussion on whose ball it is, and it's going to stay with Brooklyn. That looked very interesting. They first gave it to Baruch, and I was a little surprised there because it looked like it was a clean out of bounds.
Marianthopoulos, Price, DeBoer, Spayu, a lot of players who do intangible things for Baruch.
And now Green has it, and she travels as she gets the ball on the block. And it'll go back to Baruch with 1:49 remaining here in the ball game. 33-point lead for Brooklyn College.
One of the things, again, part of the defensive scheme, you cannot let players get in close, which is just what Green did. Luckily, it was a turnover.
Now, Thamakun had it in the corner. And that's turned over by Baruch as they get trapped, and it's going to go Green the other way, and she can finish off the glass. No, actually, a little too strong, but she gets her own rebound over Marianthopoulos. And Green just looking for options. She finds Carter with the cross-court pass, and now it's Pena up top. Gives it back to Carter. Carter thinks about the shot. Instead finds Green inside, working on DeBoer. Green's pass almost was knocked away, almost stolen, though, but instead Espina comes away with it, and it'll be Pena now. Pena drives, free throw line. Kicks it out to Espina. Well, only 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Espina trying to work her way all the way around. No good off front rim. Nice play there by Espina to get her own rebound, though. And it sets up Brooklyn with a fresh 30 and potentially the last couple possessions of this ball game.
Yeah, Baruch just standing around now.
Carter's three no good, but it's going to be Veronica Green on the rebound. Corner pass to Espina. She pump fakes, puts it on the floor. There's going to be no shot there. The foul's going to be on number 12, Jacqueline Thamakun. And that's going to be side out right in front of the Brooklyn bench.
I think
number 44 checking into the game for the first time tonight, Jasmine Rodriguez for the Bearcats.
I think, Dave, the Baruch College body language tells the story of the whole game. Plays with the hands on the hips.
And Rodriguez definitely traveled there, but they're going to let that one slide. Papadopoulos to Price, a little short, no good. And it's going to be a loose ball, and it's going to be a jump ball. A nice play, the hustle play there by Rodriguez, trying to make a little bit of a difference in the last minute of the game as it'll go back to Brooklyn with 26.6 seconds left, and now they can just walk out the clock.
Yeah, it's, again, the scoreboard tells one story, but the three ball for Brooklyn College, a big part of this story.
And now Pena will just dribble out the clock for Brooklyn College with 9 seconds left, and a big win here. Big in terms of score as well as stature for Brooklyn College, able to continue that run of being the best team in the conference. I'm going to move now to 20-2 and 12-1 in the CUNYAC.
Yeah, 21 seasons, always a goal for coaches. But Dave, very short. I mentioned just a couple of seconds ago the three ball for Brooklyn came at the right time to set themselves apart from the Bearcats. And the Bearcats just never got going offensively and defensively and were never in the game.
So that'll do it here. Baruch losing it tonight, 79-46 here at the Arc Arena, and it's pretty much Joe right from the jump off when Brooklyn College jumped all over Baruch.
Yeah, Baruch never was in the game. Even when they were in the game, as far as the score, they never posed a threat. When I say pose a threat, sometimes you have the other team thinking. I don't think that Brooklyn ever thought that there was any trouble brewing. Now, trouble brewing could have came from Shannon Barrett, Danielle Arias, Melinda Spayu, or even Samir Ahmed. Those are the people who, when they're good, they can cause trouble. Barrett never got going. Arias tried, but more away from the ball. One of the big things that worked in the favor, Dave, of Brooklyn is that their trap gave Baruch all kinds of trouble and really never allowed Baruch to get into any offense. So which made it easier for Brooklyn to go back on the offensive end. And Taylor George hit some real rhythm threes that started things. And Mack, who didn't have a big game, she was part of the attack. Of course, Jamat, once she got down low, that's a problem.
She was a beast in the paint tonight.
Whether she made a shot or not, she just made other things happen for Brooklyn, cleared the way.
So a tough loss if you're Baruch, and we talked about it in the first half, a big effort loss. I think the biggest difference was effort, but you're going to lose a lot of games when you let up 4 more offensive rebounds and also turn the ball over 5 extra times than your opponent, allowing your opponent to have 77 attempts on the field to your 62. 15 more shot attempts tonight for Brooklyn College.
Yeah, but this is going to get better for Baruch. Once again, they're young, and they have shown flashes of really being able to hang with Old Westbury, teams like that. One of the Jersey schools that came in, they almost pulled out a victory. So they have shown flashes, but it's all got to come together, and you got to be consistent with these. You have to do more than have flashes. But Coach Barrett has got to stay positive in the locker room. No finger pointing, and realize that it was a tough task, but they just didn't do enough to compete. And but once again, tomorrow in practice, go over the things that really were a problem tonight. As I mentioned, poor choices when faced with a trap, and also not finding ways to overcome some adversity. We saw some finger pointing from one of the leaders, Barrett. So these are all things you have to look at and correct very quickly, because it's not like you have weeks off. You got to get right back in and prepare for the next game. But I like the fact that Melinda Spayu played very hard tonight. It may not show up in the scoreboard, but she didn't take a possession off. And that's all you can ask for. Sometimes the score is what we see, but it's these little efforts. DeBoard did her usual, good position underneath. And so I take away some things that hopefully next season we're going to look back and say, wow, we got some glimpses.
Also, you have to be thinking about that tournament, because now you're going to be potentially, what York does tonight, you're going to be pulling yourself into a tie for that last spot with only a handful of games left. Currently 4-9, I believe, in the conference after tonight, and York also sitting at 4-9. Depending on what they do, you have to be very careful not to fall out of that 6th and final playoff spot.
Coach Barrett has to just find out what works and what doesn't work. Bruce Wee, lived a lifestyle based on that. I think it applies to everything. But the great part is, you get to have full practices where you can really work on stuff. I saw Ahmed up on top, which I haven't seen. Defensively, that worked. So, we're seeing Coach Barrett working on some stuff. But really, it's going to go down to, I still say it, in the next game, and Barrett's going to have to come out and lead this team. If they're going to go anywhere, even if it's a game, Barrett's going to have to lead with Arias not far behind and Spayu not far behind. That's the formula.
And they have a quick turnaround all playing Thursday night at home against Hunter College.
Battle of Lexington, Dave. Get your party shoes on, and we're going to have some fun here.
So that's going to do it for our first game of the night. Come join us back in about 13, 14 minutes, and we'll have our pregame for the men's game of the doubleheader. Once again, your final score tonight: Brooklyn College 79, Baruch 46. You're watching Baruch Basketball on YouTube channel, Baruch Bearcats.